All right, let's jump right into something truly monumental today. We're taking a deep dive into an incredibly intricate, epic story, a detailed timeline of creation, free will, and ultimate resolution, all drawn from one very comprehensive theological account.
Yeah, and our mission really is to pull out the key pieces of this cosmic narrative for you. Sort of a shortcut to understanding its, well, sometimes surprising facts, their profound implications, from the very start to the final consummation.
Okay, so this narrative kicks off with something foundational, the creation of what this account calls actual temples and also angels. And the crucial part here, these angels get free will right away.
Exactly. They're not just, puppets. That free will is central. And almost immediately, a powerful symbol, a name above every name, is placed on the actual throne.
A specific designation.
Very specific. The account says it's destined for the second god, a figure who would eventually come as a creature, interestingly, to sort of perfect or complete the free will of creatures.
Wow. And alongside that, the angels have a job to do.
Keep the love commandment. That's the core directive.
Okay, so you have free will, a high calling, a clear commandment, but then things go wrong. Quickly.
That's where it gets really interesting, yeah. The first fall, Hellel, filled with pride, the text says, seeks to rival that name on the throne.
So it's not just disobedience, it's like a direct attack on the rule itself.
Precisely, an attack on the commandment, on God's authority.
Yeah.
And the consequence, well, many angels are misled by him, by Satan, as he's called post-fall.
And they end up where?
Imprisoned in Hades. That's the term used. A state of confinement. This whole event really sets the stage for humanity.
Right, which brings us to Adam, created, the account says, to actually prove the truth of the commandment.
Yeah, like a demonstration that free will obedience works. He's given vice-regency over earth, stewardship, and, crucially, he also gets a commandment to obey.
But the pattern repeats, doesn't it? Satan tempts Eve.
And Adam yields. The text explicitly notes it's due to his love for Eve.
Right.
A very human element there.
And the result is Satan gaining control over earth.
That's what the narrative states, which then leads to the first covenant made with animal blood and the giving of the law, early frameworks for interaction and restoration.
Now, this is fascinating. The divine intervention that follows, the second God you mentioned earlier.
Yes, comes to earth.
Yeah.
And significantly comes as Adam, a direct link. Meticulously, the text says, showing creatures who God is, living it out.
And this leads to the cross.
It does. This figure atones for Adam's fall, makes a new covenant, this time with God's blood. The narrative stresses this act proves both God's love and God's justice, simultaneously.
Not just one or the other.
Exactly. Then this figure overcomes death through resurrection, becomes the first fruit, the first one to achieve this victory, thereby inheriting creation.
So the new covenant is made. How does it spread?
Through the Holy Spirit, which descends, empowering believers, the saints. They become first fruits too, in a sense, loving God and neighbor, even unto death.
A continuous witness.
Until, the account says, an appointed number of martyr witnesses is reached.
And then, what happens when that number is complete?
Then the seventh trumpet sounds. Big moment. It triggers the first resurrection, which is described as confirming the commandment's truth, vindication.
And atonement isn't finished yet.
No, great atonement begins. For the actual temple and for Hades, it's about completing the free will of righteous creatures, aligning fully. Saints are pulled up to the air while 7 plagues hit the earth. Judgment.
And what about Satan during all this?
He, identified here as Azazel, gets imprisoned in the wilderness abyss for the 7th 1,000 years.
Which has many names, right?
Yes, lots of symbolic descriptions. Sabbath Jubilee, time of rest. Tabernacle feast of booths, God dwelling close, new heaven, new earth, renewal, paradise, or just the 1,000-year kingdom.
But wait, it's not quite the absolute end?
Not yet. Near the end of the 1,000 years, Satan is released, briefly, and manages to mislead people again, who actively opposed God, one last rebellion.
Which leads to the final judgment.
The great white throne judgment. Everything touched by sin, plus death and Hades themselves, all cast into the lake of fire. A final purification.
And the ultimate outcome.
Sin is extinguished from creation. That's the final state. Angels and the righteous live forever. Perfect harmony. And the Son presents the restored creation to the Father. Cycle complete.
So after tracing this incredible, detailed timeline from the absolute beginning to the very end, what does this all mean for you listening?
Yeah, it really raises a core question, doesn't it? When you consider this whole narrative, free will, purpose, failure, redemption, final restoration, what insights do you personally gain about how these huge concepts like free will and divine purpose play out? Especially concerning this ultimate restoration of, well, cosmic order and justice.
And think about this. The narrative ends with sin extinguished and the free will of righteous creatures being completed. What might that kind of grand conclusion suggest about the nature of eternity itself? About existence perfected, where free will and divine intent are apparently one and the same? Something to ponder.